I think the live stream is going to cut in and out because the internet connection is like not really that good. That sky looks a lot brighter in the video than it really is. Kind of amazing. Not quite even 5 o'clock yet. I'm going to get the day started shortly. Just another night of Camp Dodge. Hopefully, hopefully this is the last day of Camp Dodge. You know, with all that rain we've had, you know, starting to see a few mosquitoes. Oh, nobody there? Alright. Well, in the States, there's a mosquito flying around right now. We had Memorial Day yesterday, and well, it's a federal holiday, so garbage collection is off one day, like the schedule. So I think it throws people's routine off a little bit. So I think they're confused as to when to put the trash out. So I see trash being put out where it's not normally put out on, well, today's Tuesday. So that's probably going to mess up the entire week because it'll take until this Saturday for the garbage companies to get caught up. And then next week, things will be back to normal. Nobody there. Wow. Guess the timing isn't right. Yeah, see, I got a mosquito bite right here. Dang. It's itchy too. Hmm. I keep looking at the grass cut job that I did yesterday. Like you can't really even see like the landscaping. Not from the street. Hmm. I don't know what to do about that. There's a freaking mosquito that keeps flying around back here. Well, 6.5 minute long live stream and nobody watching and nobody commenting. You could hear it right by my ear. Where's he at? I got him. Before it took blood. Hmm. No, this is the first. This. Okay, all of a sudden 3 people watching. It's been up for almost 8 minutes. All right, 2 people watching. It was 3, and then is it glitchy? Because like I started off the video saying this might get glitchy because the internet connection is kind of. It works out in the street, but it's a little sketchy. That sky looks a lot brighter than it really is in the video. It's just after 5 o'clock. I'm preparing to get my day started. What do I have to prepare to get my day started? Well, basically, you just stick the keys in the ignition and day started complete. Oh yeah, operate the windshield wiper to remove the dew from the window. I'll shut the motor off. At $2.28 a gallon, it's costly enough. Okay. Especially, well, the Dodge gets anywhere between maybe 10 miles to the gallon to maybe 14 or 15 miles to the gallon. Where the Chevy, that old Chevy, loaded, not loaded, driving it hard, driving it easy, it still gets the same 8 to 10 miles per gallon. It's like, doesn't matter if it's loaded all the way up or you have nothing in it. It's the same gas mileage. It's incredible. All right. If this thing is like loaded down, the gas mileage drops, but unloaded, maybe, or lightly loaded, maybe 14, maybe 15 miles to the gallon. Loaded down, you know, you're looking at 10 miles to the gallon. Anybody commenting? Nope. Oh, I want to sneeze because all the freshly cut grass. Let me show you. See, I even like did all the bushes and stuff like that. The grass just like being cut like that. Woo. I didn't even bother sweeping it up because I couldn't take it anymore. See how it's like on the sidewalk still? I couldn't. Yesterday, I couldn't. that's that's what it went by when it comes to like the tree pollen doesn't bother me. I like had like the flowery things on there. These two like I don't know. They're like some kind of cherry apple trees, and they bloom and all that. Like they're past that now. Uh, that pollen tastes like sort of like light, like like dusty, salty, bitter. But the grass pollen, like what freshly cut grass. Whoa. That's why I try and get the kids to do it. I try and con them into cutting the grass, but they're not around. So it was up to me to do it. One more day of this. So hopefully today's the last day of Camp Dodge. And then we can become a family again. Could have Eileen or Dominic cut the grass. You know what I mean? I'm not the I'm not the kind of parent. I'm not faulting any of you guys if you're parents, but like a lot of parents charge their kids um, rent to stay at home. You know what I mean? Like they'll charge them, I don't know, a couple $100 a month or something like that. And uh, I don't believe in that. I believe in chores and putting them to work. I'll take your labor. That's what I want. Your labor is more important to me than your money. I don't need your money. I could use your money, yeah, sure. But if they wanted to just hand over money, I wouldn't take it anyway. You know what I mean? You, you don't work at a job all day to earn a paycheck to hand it over to the parents so you can lay around the house. That's my thinking. You work all day at a job, you get to keep that money and spend it as you choose. And the only thing I want out of you is your help and your labor and a little of your time. You know, I mean, if you want to pay somebody rent, you want to work all day so you can go and move out and like live in an apartment or something like that and share your wealth with a greedy, apartment owner or something. So be it. You're still gonna have to do your own chores. You're still gonna have to wash the dishes and if you rent a house, you're going to have to cut the grass. So now you're going to have living expenses, and you're still going to have to do chores. So my sister-in-law, her philosophy is way different. She charges her kids to live at home because the mentality is this prepares you for life. I claim bull crap. She's like, it teaches them responsibility. Not really. No. You're slowing them down is what you're doing. You're taking a chunk out of their wealth. If they could like save their own money and buy a car and, get their own things and stuff like that. I mean, when you're young, most of the time you're not working at a career, you're working at a job. Two totally different philosophies on raising families. Mine is more laissez-faire, okay? If you know what that means. And uh, I don't know. I think hers is more. I Well, I was going to call it a benevolent dictatorship, but I'll just call it a benevolent dictatorship would be sort of like Santa Claus and his elves. Santa Claus is like the benevolent dictator. The elves are just happy to live there and work for Santa. But I don't think she's as benevolent. I think it's more of a dictatorship. It's cheaper to live at mom's house, mom and dad's house, and pay the rent. So as a kid, you're kind of stuck. You can't really move out because you're having a hard time building wealth to move out because if you're spending a few $100s a month to live at mom and dad's house, that's a few $100s less that you have to, save for a car and pay for insurance. I don't know. There's no easy answer, It's hard enough growing up when you're young, in high school and after graduating high school. And if you don't go to college, or if you do go to college, those are some tough years. And if you're a guy, they're even tougher. Because like between like 17 and 23, if you're a guy, you're in like, it's like nowhere land for a guy, really, in my opinion, because you really don't have, in almost all cases, between those ages, you don't really have anything going on. You have like if you have a job, it's a job, and it'd be more on the rare side to have like a career. Plus, girls mature mentally and physically at a younger age, and they're naturally a little ahead of the game, at least at first, than a guy, all the way up until about age 25. It takes about till age 25 for a guy to catch up with a girl. That's just my opinion. So, looking into it that deeply all my life, I long ago came to the conclusion when my kids are in high school and older, don't, don't charge them rent to live at home. As long as like well, not even with that caveat, letting them know that they should contribute to the to the general welfare of the home, like doing chores and stuff like that. Beyond that, nothing more is expected of you. If you want to pay a bill, like if you want to pay an electricity bill or contribute to it, because you are using it, some of it, go ahead. But if you're not inclined to do so, then don't. But you know what? I hope you're saving your money and not wasting it. That's just my way of looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe my maybe my sister-in-law's got the right idea. Okay, which is the idea of a lot of parents, and that's to charge their kids rent to live at home. And that's not my that's not my operating philosophy. I don't work that way. Nope, nobody commenting. That's okay. We got two thumbs up, and six people have this. They have this show switched on. I don't know if they're actually watching, but it got up to 9 people watching. Like I said when I started this, as the morning goes on, uh, the internet connection starts getting lost because I don't know, maybe more people going online or something like that. So it will start glitching more and more and more. That's that's why like at nighttime these things work a lot better. Oh, 9 people watching again. So for you guys that just started checking in, I was just droning on about. Well, it started with the grass cutting. Okay, it started with. Oh, okay. Now we're down to 7 people. It's probably the same people that were watching. Now we got 8 people, and my yapping started with the fact that I cut the grass. See, like I gave up sweeping the grass on the sidewalk and all that because I couldn't stand like the grass pollen is what gets me. So the conversation started with me wanting to sneeze because that's the tree pollen doesn't bother me, but the freshly cut grass, I can't take it. Like, so it's a job that I defer to my children, and then I got off on a tangent of, you know, in my in my household, I don't charge my kids rent to live at home, where a lot of parents do that, like including my sister-in-law. And she's got a totally different philosophy than I do. She charges her kids rent to live at home. Rent is cheaper costing than if you got yourself an apartment, but my philosophy is totally different. All I want out of you is a little of your time and a little bit of your labor. You keep your money that you earn. You got a job. Keep your money as long as you're not wasting it. Because at a young age, I don't know. It's a good feeling to have a few bucks in your pocket. That's how my parents were. They didn't charge me rent to live at home, but they sure made me do the chores. Okay, so I thought that was a fair exchange. Do stuff around the house, and That's your rent. You get to keep the money you make. Okay, that's cool. You could actually categorize that stuff and put it in its own pocket. I cut the grass. Keep you know front yard clean and stuff like that. Keep the newspapers from accumulating on the front porch. Those free flyers and stuff. What else? Clean the bathrooms. Make sure the dishes don't pile up in the sink. Take the garbage out. Just a generic list of um, maintenance chores, like light bulbs that needed to be replaced and changed. That was my thing. Even though it was like 5 kids, okay, my thing was like you know light bulbs, front yard. My brother's chore was the garage because he had half the garage. I don't know. They didn't charge us rent to live there, but they made us do chores. That was our rent, which I think is much more fair, okay, than taking your kids' money, taking your kids' McDonald's money. Like they're working at McDonald's or whatever, wherever they're working. And they're making minimum wage. Really, as a parent, you're gonna confiscate some of that. Sure, I mean, I could use help paying the electric bill or the water bill. I mean, they're using more electric because there's more kids than just me, right? There's 3 of them. There's only one of me, right? So they're using at least 3 times the electricity and the water that I'm using, right? I Sure, if they wanted to pay the electric bill, I'm not going to get in their way. I'm not going to demand it. I mean, they're going to spend the rest of their life paying bills. You know, how about if they save their money so they can get themselves a car and they can save money for when they do move out, they're not broke. I don't know. I think my philosophy is uh, better than my sister-in-law's. My sister-in-law takes, I'll put it that way, she takes her kids' money to put towards the bills of the household. When my nieces and nephews, mother and father, make probably together, they probably make 10 times the amount of money I make. Okay? If I had their money, I'd throw mine away. You know what I mean? So, if they're making that kind of money, they don't need to take the. But she's like, that teaches them responsibility. Okay. I don't know. I'll go around claiming I'm right. That's all. My philosophy is the better one. I just want your labor. That's what I want. A little bit of your time, a little bit of your labor, do some chores. You are free to go. After that, do whatever else you want. As a kid, it's a good feeling to have a little bit of cash in your pocket. I think just 2 different ways of thinking. What? No commenters? Oh no. Good morning. Ooh. Yeah, over the weekend all the scrapyards were closed. Because here in the United States we had a federal holiday yesterday, which is known as Memorial Day, which is the official kickoff day of summer. Even though summer doesn't start for on the calendar, summer doesn't begin until June 21st, which is like a little less than a month away, right? But here in the States, we do summer starting yesterday, weekend. So today is like the official last day of school, so the computer has to be returned back to the school, for the remote learning. And I don't know if they're going to continue with that, you know, when school begins. I think school starts August 15th or August 17th, something like that. That starts the new school year, which by the time school starts, my child will have had over 150 days of summer vacation, which started on St. Patty's Day, March 17th. She's been out of school for 70 days. Yeah, how people, like, when you're a kid, like when you start the new school year, everybody like looks different or they've grown like a little bit, and that's only over the period of the summer vacation. And this summer vacation was like twice as long. It's like almost half a year. Like, it's gonna be like culture shock when kids go back to school. They're gonna like, wow, you really, for the kids that haven't seen each other, wow, you look different. Because during those young years, you do a lot of growing. Do a lot of growing up and stuff like that. That's in America anyway. That's the importance of summer vacation is you do other types of growing besides, book learning over those like 2.5 or 3 months that you're not attending formal school. I know years ago, the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Daley, tried to push for year-round school all year long. Why? Like, other than to occupy kids so they have no real free time. That way they can't, or it makes it more difficult for them to be in gangs. But that's like a sucky life. To like have to have your time, your free time confiscated and occupied with busy work so that you're not dragged into a bad lifestyle. I don't know. Hey, if it works for them, then I guess I can't knock it. But it just seems like one reason not to live in Chicago, especially if you're a kid. I guess though it didn't. I don't know. I haven't kept up on it, but I don't think the program. I don't think the program worked so well, and Then they tried pushing back the school year, starting earlier and earlier into the summer. And that didn't work so well with parents, and there was pushback on that. So I think school in Chicago starts officially the day after Labor Day, which is the first Monday in September. And that's the way it should be. Because Labor Day in the United States is the official end of summer, even though summer doesn't end until September 21st or 22nd. That lady across the street went away on vacation. And she's like, oh, would you watch over my house? I'm like, yeah. So it's like, like if like newspapers and mail and stuff like that started accumulating, she wants us to like, keep it from accumulating. And if the grass gets to be too tall, she wants us to go over there and cut it. Okay. Look how neat everything looks, though. Isn't that incredible? Like, if they wanted to sell that house, all they would have to do is stick a sign in the front grass. Like there's like nothing that the place really needs to have done to it. That's what I should aim for, with my house. Is I should make it where if I wanted to sell it, all I would need to do is stick a sign in the grass. I mean, you could do that with any house in any condition. But my point is, if you want to command top dollar, all right, if you're looking to command top dollar. No. I haven't seen, I don't know her name. I need to, I don't know how to ask the lady her name, the old lady. So I just call her the Asian lady. Even though sometimes she's stopped and chatted for a couple of minutes. Oh, you collect junk? I'm like, yeah. Oh, I have toaster. Oh, okay. I haven't seen her exercising, walking up and down the block or anything like that. She has a solid routine. But apparently, maybe not. She's like a fixture in the neighborhood. Usually she'd be like walking up and down the street like 3 or 4 times already. After she does that, she rides her bike around the neighborhood, and from just from me like driving around, it appears as if she rides her bike for 10 miles. Because if you go around my neighborhood, it's 1.5 miles, and she rings around the neighborhood several times. So I don't know. I calculated it to be approximately 10 miles of bike riding, 5 miles of walking, and 10 miles of bike riding every day. I could ride a bike. I couldn't ride it 10 miles. Maybe a mile. I'm like 300 pounds. I can't really sit down on the seat. I have to like stand up or ride and keep standing. Whoa. Okay. Well, you know what, guys? I'm starting to yawn because nobody's like nobody's commenting, and just hopefully today's the last day of this Camp Dodge thing, and we can become a family again. Uh, the wife's waiting on her fourth test to come back negative, and we can be a family again after that, I guess. You know? Ever hear of a company called Mary Ma? Nah, I can't even say it. It's Mary Maids. Okay, we had them come in there and wipe down everything. They came in like wearing masks and stuff like that, and they had gloves on and all that. 20 bags of trash, of like little bags of trash, like wipe paper towel, wipe down things and all this. All the garbage that was like created, you know. It cost extra for them to take it away because we don't have garbage pickup. So the neighbor across the street lets me like put trash in their garbage. Plus, she's gone for the week, so I guess I could utilize. Is it still connected? I guess I could utilize their trash. If I want. I don't know. But nobody's commenting, so I'm going to sign off and say bye. There's like 9 people watching. So I'm going to say bye and pray, okay, for a negative result so that we can become family again. And, well, Dominic's still staying in Oak Lawn. Uh, Maybe he'll come home this weekend. And Nora's with her friend, and Eileen's with her work friend. Nora's friend's got a pool in the backyard, so you know how hard that's going to be to make her come home to nothing? It's not going to be easy. And, I mean, they practically have adopted her. And, Eileen wants to come home. yeah, you know, I think, you can only stay with your work friend for so long before, I mean, you see this person at work every day, and then you're staying with them. It's like, you know, you don't really want to get on each other's nerves. So my claim is Eileen is the most eager to come home, and then it's a toss up between Dominic and Nora. I think Nora likes like the pool and being with her friend and stuff like that, but I think Nora's homesick. And then, well, Dominic being older, he's almost 27. I don't think he's not like in a mega hurry to, hey, I'm coming home. You know what I mean? But yeah, yep. As the world starts getting back to work, neighbor leaving in the van. He's nice, but she's the crazy one next door. Them, them people they're cool next door right there. It seems every time I like do anything like around the house, if I like improve like the way anything looks around here, like I cut like the weeds and stuff like that, or like the overgrowth at the base of the trees. They get out there, and the husband and wife get out there in earnest, and they go nuts on the garden. They're in the front and the back, making it always making it just one tick better looking than mine. Just like one tick. Not like they don't go overboard, but it's always just like one little notch. It's like this competition thing which I don't wish to partake in. Like, I don't know. Lay low until. Actually, I would like to make it look a lot better so that it's it's in ready to sell condition whenever I want. Like look at that house right there. Okay, you would need to do nothing to that house whatsoever. You could just they if she wanted to sell that house today, all they would need to do is put a for sale sign on the front lawn. Okay. Now mine not so much. You know what I mean? There's still work to be done. Or even next door there, I mean, they'd have to do some stuff. Oh, the guy came back. He's going again. Must have forgot something. Sure, you can put a for sale sign in any house, in any condition, but if you want to get, if you want to capture maximum dollar, right? I know. I was told by a neighbor on the next block over there, like, because they're fixing up the house to sell it, you know, they're like rehabbing it. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna like redo the driveway or you're gonna seal coat it? He's like, no, I'm not selling the driveway, I'm selling the house. That's one way of looking at it. You know what I mean? It's like they want a better driveway, then they can do whatever they want to the driveway. I'm not selling the driveway. Okay, I couldn't argue that. Okay, it's just that I didn't bother arguing with him. It's just that it's of my opinion that curb appeal sells the property. Like, uh, you know, if the house looks that good on the outside, that means whoever lives there cared enough about it to, I don't know. If the little things are broken about a house, right? Here, if the small things are broken about a house, and you're the potential home buyer, then what goes through your mind? Well, if the little things are broken, then what else is wrong with this place? You know what I mean? If the people that lived here didn't care to like change the light bulbs or fix the drippy leaking faucet, then what else? What bigger problems are there? I don't know. There still nobody commenting. What gives? Nobody commenting. Nobody like screw off kingdom or get to work kingdom or stop talking about the grass kingdom. Nobody. Well, there's curbside claims to be found, and I intend to find them. Okay. Close the door on this. I had the door open just because I don't know. Sleeping in this truck, so you just want to open the door like a little bit because you get the feeling of, I don't know. If you think about it, though, the inside of this cab is about the size of the space capsule that the 3 astronauts went to the moon in, right? Did you ever watch those videos called dark docs, like dark documents, dark docs 5 or something like that? And it's like about the space race and stuff like that, and like the Soviet space race was more about scientific stuff, but our space race was more about um, political agenda achievement. Well, I think the Soviet one was more about political prestige, and the Americans really didn't start out with scientific reasons. I think I think that guy's videos are a little bit propagandish. Then again, you get the weirdos that claim that we never went to the moon. Funny. I mean, why would they even think that? If you think about it, the moon's only what, a 250,000 miles away? That's nothing. It's not really that far. If you think about it, it's pretty close. Alright, 9 people watching now. I got a long day ahead of me, and the thing about the summertime is it's best to work in the evening and even overnight and into the morning up until about 10:30, 11 o'clock, because after that it gets pretty hot up until about 6 in the evening. So my claim is to avoid working between 11 o'clock and in the morning till about 6, 5 or 6 in the evening. That way you're not working during the hottest, depending on what your job is. Mine is outside, and I don't know. Hopefully they're supposed to open everything up by the end of this week. You know, because I don't know. According to many scientists, disease threat is kind of over, but according to a lot of naysayers, they're claiming no. So it's like, who do you believe? Who's telling the truth? Wow, a whole 1 hour long, almost 1 hour long video, and nobody commenting. That's messed up. Well, alright. If you enjoyed the show, I guess, 6 thumbs up. See you later, because I have to get busy. Fire the car up. Put the seatbelt on. Only, for me, only because it's the law. Okay. If it wasn't the law, I probably wouldn't put the seatbelt on. Because I just don't like wearing it. Okay, it's that simple. Wonder how long this live stream is probably going to cut out, because it doesn't do very well when we start going around and moving. Think we'll find anything? Garbage day is 1 day off now, okay, so what's that? Just like a plastic, like a pool tarp that was all rolled together. You know, I didn't see. What's that right there? Oh, okay. It was almost a scrap mirage, what that was. Wow, this thing is like... This live stream is actually holding up better than I thought. You know, moving around. I thought for sure it was gonna, like... There's like a workbench down this block, and it's been out by the trash for 3 days. I left it there as an experiment. I didn't pick it up. But apparently the garbage man's probably gonna end up grabbing it. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Right there. I mean, it's made out of steel, kind of, but not really. It's also, ooh, I'm glad I went down this block. There's an air con right here. Yes, I'm blocking the driveway. Blocking the driveway, and I'm moving slow. And I need to get a tripod here. Look at that air con right there. How am I gonna get that up in there?